Hi Ola, ABL. Just want to make sure that the sound and the video is okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay and if there's any issues. Thanks Jordan. Thanks BL. Good morning Jordan, how are you doing? Good morning. I just found out. What did you just find out? Hey Sarah. Hey Amin, how are you doing? Hi Christina. Hey Perpetuum. Thank you. Good to know. Iboin. Iboin. How are you doing? Christian. Hey Christian, how are you doing? We'll give it a couple of minutes before we get started. Hey Mustafa, good to see you. Realizing a lot of new names on the session, so good to see you guys here with us. Do help me out. Drop a message if you're new to the session. Say hi, let me know where you're joining us from. And also click that like and subscribe button. That would help massively. I do tend to repeat that over a couple of times during the session, so I'll just keep reminding you guys. Hey Elliot, how are you doing from Dubai? Good to have you with us. Solomon from Kenya, how are you doing? Got everyone from all around the world. Good to see you guys. 2 more minutes and we shall get started. In the meantime, let me know if you have any good trades or bad trades that you got into or got out of. Put it into the chat. Any questions as well, put it into the chat. Let me know. The link is there for the Discord channel if you haven't joined already. So do make sure you jump onto the Discord channel. We've got Frug from Australia. We've got Christian from Nigeria. Hey Diana, how you doing? Hey Spiros. Good to see everyone here. I have a request from Blessed Pips for UK 100. I've never done that before, but I will add that into for this. I'll add that in for this session. So just hang on tight. We'll get to that. Good morning, Carsten. How are you doing? Count down 1 more minute and we shall get started. Thanks, Dora. Good to have you us on the Discord channel. I'm doing fantastic. I've got a new webcam. Hopefully it looks a little bit sharper. It looks a little bit better. Makes me look better as well. So, new webcam. Back on the daily market analysis with you guys on the stream. Couldn't ask for anything more. Well, could ask for a lot more, but I'll be happy for now. Hey, Goju. Good morning. How are you doing? Aussie long yesterday, 35 pips and still running very good. Hey, Spiros, seems like the one session has been doing well. One session we had. Let's catch up again soon. Alrighty, let's get started. So again, thank you all for joining me on this daily market analysis. I try to do this every day, 3 p.m. GMT plus 8, where during this 1 hour session, I share with you my thoughts and views about the fundamentals in terms of what has happened, what's coming up. We look at the technicals in terms of where price is, combine that together, looking for some possible trade setups. These are all done on the H1 time frame. This is on my watch list. I'm sharing with you what I'm looking at on the H1 time frame, ideally for an intraday trade, so that by the next time we catch up, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT plus 8, we can do a review of those trades. All right. If you are new to the session, like I was saying, do drop a message, say hi, let me know where you're joining us from. Help me out, click that like and subscribe button. And if you do have any questions at any point in time, please feel free, put it into the chat, let me know. I'll be happy to address your questions from there. And also join the Discord channel. All right. With that, a quick disclaimer: any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. The contents of this webinar is not intended or are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. So please do your own due diligence, because your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. All right. Hey Desiree, how you doing? Hey Farm, good to see you. So with that said, short and sharp, let's get to the news. At 3:40, so in less than, or in about 30 minutes or just over 30 minutes time, we do have RBA Governor Jackson Bullock speaking at the Sir Leslie Melville lecture at ANU. Don't think it's going to do too much to the Aussie dollar at this point in time. Okay, so not to, I just was just checking that out, just trying to see if I have to rush through and prepare for that news, but I don't think it's going to do too much. Let's do a quick review of what happened last night since the last time we spoke. Good morning, Nick. How are you doing? Hey, Alani from South Africa. FX Demon wants gold. We'll get to that. Mina, how are you doing? Alrighty, so looking at this, yesterday was Monday. Not a lot of news, right? Not a lot of news items to pay attention to, which we spoke about yesterday. And that's also why, if you look at the dollar index from yesterday, we were talking about it possibly consolidating along this 104 level, and it did that, pretty much did that, right? We spoke at 3, which was this candle. Right after the session, it shot up a little bit, but sat there, consolidated. Early this morning, very early this morning, it dropped lower. Looked like it was going to break strongly to the downside, but now over the last couple of hours has retraced back and is still sitting at that 104 level, right? Still sitting at that point. What could drive the prices? We'll look at that moving forward into the news for today, right? News for today. Just had a brief look at the RBA or the Aussie news. Don't think it's going to move prices too much, so not super concerned about that. At 9 p.m. GMT plus 8, we do have the US S&P/CS Composite 20 HPI year on year. Not something I look at. That's a change in the selling price of single family homes in 20 metropolitan areas. Not something I look at. I don't see how it's going to affect prices too much. It's looking like it's going to go from a minus 1.7 to a minus 1.5%. So not a big change expected there. So I'm going to overlook that with more focus on the consumer confidence level, right? This is the conference board, the CB consumer confidence levels, 117 to 116. Again, not a big change, but if you look at it previously in on July 25th, it was 109 revised up to 110, expected to go up to 112, went up to 117. Okay. Again, in June, it was 102, expected 103, went up to 109. So it has been on the rise. It has been on the rise even since May, where we saw it go from 103 to 102, but it was expected to drop. So it had a small decline, better than expected. June, a lot better than expected, a lot better than previous. Same with July. Right now, looking like it might stabilize around this level, but I would not rule out possibly a stronger number, maybe 118, 119, right? So I'm thinking that that might be a positive number there for consumer confidence. And also with JOLTS, job openings, 9.58 million, 9.49 million. What we're looking at, or based on what the during the Jackson Hole Symposium, when they were talking about, or where Chair Powell was talking about possibly further rate hikes to bring inflation down, it would depend on the wage numbers, if that does not prove to be such a risk anymore. So I think if job opening numbers come out, right, job openings shows you the number of job openings during the reported month, excluding the farming industry. If that comes out a little bit stronger, I think 9.6 would be interesting, right? So it'd be better than expected and a bit better than previous. Overall, I'm anticipating maybe a stronger number here, a slightly stronger number here. That is going to be a bit crucial because this week, right, we do have, tomorrow we have the ADP employment change number again, 324, expected 194, expecting a bit of a slowdown there. And then on through to Friday, where we have the non-farm employment change number. It was hang on, show me the revised number, 209. It was 209, revised down to 185, expected 205, came out 187. At 187 for this month, or previous month, they're expecting 169K. So it looks like on the non-farm employment change, market analysts are expecting a bit of a slowdown in employment numbers. In terms of the ADP, they're also expecting a significant slowdown in employment numbers. I would say that this JOLTS jobs openings might give us a hint of what we could anticipate on the job numbers. It might drop, but I'm not ruling out that it could stay along this range and bring about some strength to the dollar. Okay. On another note, just digressing a little bit, just want to let you guys know that I've just decided, just 1 hour before this session, on Friday at 8:30 p.m. GMT plus 8, tune it to your work, to your wherever you are. I will be doing a live trading session together with you guys on YouTube. So do make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Do make sure you jump onto the Discord channel, because I will be trading live together with you guys on this event, the non-farm employment change event. If you think it's a good idea, put it into the chat. Let me know that you'll be there. If you're not going to do it, then I won't. If you're not going to be there, I'm not going to be there. But let me know if you're going to be there, and then I've already did. So I'm going there. All right. If you are joining us, if you're watching on TradingView, I will be streaming that only on YouTube. So do make sure you follow, subscribe, like the YouTube channel. I'll be solely on YouTube. Join us there. Okay. What time is it? You are 6 hours ahead of me. I don't know how many hours I am. I am in the GMT plus 8 time zone. Bring it back. Just make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It was ready. Very good. I'm super happy to see the response. The chat is scrolling a little bit faster than usual, a little bit faster than I can respond. So for those of you who did say hi, good to have you guys with here. Good to have you guys with me here. And also looking forward to seeing you guys non-farm payroll trading. Don't forget, we will still be here at 3 p.m. over the next couple of days, right? So now, digression aside, back to the main focus, looking at the news. We do have some numbers here, 10 p.m. GMT plus 8. My expectation is possibly going to be a little bit positive. I don't think it'd be significantly a great number, so I think a little bit positive. Might see that dollar strength come back into play slightly. Okay, so with all that said, looking at the charts, here we are back along 104. Today is 29th of August. At this point, let's take away this. Very good to see that you're all going to be there. Thanks, D-Train. Talking to Dan. Presidential election. Yes, it is. Friday is it's actually a public holiday in Singapore. We are going to the polls. We are voting for our next president for Singapore. So I'm just going to cast my vote and then be here with, right? So not to worry, I will still be. With that said, I lost my train of thought. Okay. At this point now, dollar index, we can see that, bring this down. Well, it broke below 38.2. So just based on this fib level, broke 38.2. We'll take that one away. Okay, and we have 61.8 right there. Before the dollar index started to bounce, and this was at noon my time, right? I was anticipating that the dollar could come down towards this low, right? The Friday low to test before rebounding. So I was anticipating that it could come down to this point, hit, and bounce back up. Didn't go as low as I expected, did show some bounce. So I'm still looking at these levels here, 50 retracement to have broken and rebounded. That there for now. I would still maintain the view, right? I'll still maintain this view that the dollar would be likely to bounce along this level. So it's pretty similar to what we said yesterday. I think it's going to test this level. Why I'm hesitating is still thinking that it could come down here before pushing back up, right? But I don't see a big reason of why it should do that or why it could do that. Okay, because looking at the news, no big numbers for now to push the price down and then back up again. I would say that it's going to consolidate along this support level, maybe break down slightly, then push back up. And if it all depends on how this hour looks, looking for this to push back up, I would maintain this view that it could bounce from 104, 105. Okay, let's keep with my initial, right? I've been looking at this the whole day and I'm still waiting for that to happen. So anticipation is for it to retest 103.75, bounce to possibly 104.40. So I'm looking for that move, come down, test this level, bounce back up. So brief weakness for now, brief weakness possibly before the resumption of strength onto dollar index. Make sense so far? So with that, painting the bias for the day, what I would be looking at now onto dollar, right? This did not trigger, so we're looking at this testing to break lower, did not trigger yesterday. Right now, Kiwi dollar back up to that resistance or that downward trend line, providing some resistance. Look to see where 50 is. Could break up slightly towards 50. I would be looking at this point then. 61.8 will be right slightly above there. Take that away. Now I'm looking at this. Found a very strong support here at 0.59. Right there. Right, as a support area, 0.59 bouncing off this point. What I'm anticipating, so we're looking at that dollar possibly pushing down that weakness before pushing back up. So we could be looking at this testing or turning back down again. Right, that's on the dollar. Check the Aussie. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll prefer here. If, let's say, if we're wrong and the dollar index does not bounce at this point, it comes down to 61.8 and breaks even further to the downside, then push lower towards that 103.6 support level. What you could be looking for here on the dollar would be to buy it up, right? Break above that trend line, 0.5940, stop loss no more than 20 pips, take profit, test that resistance at 40, 45 pips upside. Okay, so I wouldn't count this on a false break. I would be looking to see whether the Kiwi dollar could go from, could do that. Okay, this is on the dollar weakness scenario. So 0.5940, stop loss 20, take profit 45. Could be looking to do buy 0.5940, stop loss 20, take profit 45. Okay, and this would be DXY weakness scenario. Hey Jamil, how you doing? Jamil, if you just popped on, you missed the interesting big news event for this week. I'll be doing a live trading session on non-farm payrolls on Friday, so you guys tune in. Okay, then, so why I had quickly checked, and as we were looking at the Kiwi dollar, I quickly checked the Aussie dollar. I'm looking at this as this could push up if it does break above that trend line on the dollar weakness scenario. Aussie dollar did not trigger. I'm looking at this as we see the dollar index trade lower before bouncing back up. Then I would see the Aussie push up, test that resistance, and turn back down. Right? Dollar weakness, then dollar strength scenario. So I would be looking in this case selling 0.640, stop loss no, again no more than 20 pips. Stops quite tight. Take profit could go down all the way to, I would go down to this point of 75 pips, but then also be looking at, that doesn't work. So you could be looking at a good 50 pips to the downside, but I think if it does break, if it does trigger, go up, test, and break down, might even test a little bit on for turning down. That. So 6460. I'm looking for it to do something similar to what it did. Right? So I'm looking for similar move like what we saw here, which would mean that would be looking at least a 60 pip move, could be looking at a 60 best, 75 pips to the downside. Okay. Safer to say 455, 25 pip stops up, trace 455, 25 pip stop 70. Okay, that's that. So 6455, stop loss 25, take profit 70. That's when we see dollar strength assumption of that dollar strength. Okay, I like how this just need to watch. We watch what's happening here on dollar index. It is trading back down. This will be the key level attention. 103.75. Hey K Goosey, how you doing? All right. So with that, then looking at the yen, right? Yen sitting right there. Tried to break a little bit higher, was not a convincing break to the upside, not push higher, still sitting along that point. Take all of that away. The channel is broken to work as a channel. Works. I would still maintain you, right? This point that it has been that consolidation along that, and this point it is what we saw on the 17th of August, where we saw it break down, came very close again towards the end of August, breaking down. Now we're really at the end of August. Could it break? Question is, could it break down? Is it worth trying, waiting for it to break down? Straddle, think of it as a straddle where you could be looking, if it breaks up 146.70, 146.75, stop loss 30 pips. Best, I would actually prefer it to be 45. So quite a wide stop loss here. Take profit 5 pips. So one is about slightly more than a 1:1. But if it does break out to the downside, then you could be looking at 146.25 stop loss for same 45 pips. Take profit in this case could be a 120 right down. And because of what we saw over the last couple of times, rejection of that 146 level, we could be looking for a downward push. So there is a straddle there. I would be looking towards that 146.5. Opportunity on both sides, but I'll be looking at 146.25. So US yen, there is a straddle opportunity. Right? Could be looking to buy 146.75, stop loss 45, take profit 55. Not a huge risk to reward there. 5. stop loss 45, profit 5. Sell 146.25, stop loss 45, profit 120. 46.25, stop loss 45, take profit 20. Why I'm hesitating a little bit, I'm just looking at how the dollar is moving, right? If the dollar does come down, push up, that's why we're seeing right across right now. I would, in fact, although there is a straddle opportunity here, I would be a lot more careful. In fact, I would be looking at confirmed break. So 146.20, 146.50. Stop loss can be still at 45, take profit at 100. I would go for a safer option. 10 pips difference could make yep. Watch what within this hour we'll know what's happening to the dollar index. Okay. Then okay, so the reason why I want to drag it a little bit lower is just because I don't want it to come down slightly out of channel and then bounce back up. I'm going to give it a bit more space from the downside or downside. That then looking at gold, pound, dollar, not gold. This was so close. I was looking at this, a big rejection right after we had our session yesterday. I thought, great, rejected a resistance level of 1.26. We're going to see this trade down. It's that right there. Did not close below, did not close below, did not trigger our trade. Remember, with what I'm signaling here or analyzing here, I'm waiting for the price to close below these, at or below these levels to get into a trade. So this did not happen. Right now pushing back up, so counter trend view to valid. Let's check out where it could get to. 61.8 right there. Could push up before turning back down. I'm just trying to anticipate whether it could turn back down. 1.8. If you were in this trade already, I would say you could hold it up to 61.8. Reason being, and looking at this, right, that within the first hour, the dollar has gone from 104.05 down to 103.90. What happens? Point. Right? Diana said, me too, watched that, but didn't and wasn't convinced to sell. Yeah, it's just that level, not ready yet. Same thing here. So what I'm actually right here on the pound dollar is that as a new analysis could actually in pound dollar climb up, test 1.60, possibly back down again. The inverse of how we anticipate dollar index move. I'm going to check this line. What level is right there, which have broken quite time since I'm just thinking whether we could buy it up towards 1.71. That holds. I think that while it could get to that point, possibly not worth. Yeah. Okay. So conclusion is that I would wait for it to test that 61.8, look for it to reject that level, then possibly go down. It's quite similar to what happened on Friday, but inverse to what the dollar index is doing. So looking at 1.2650, very tight stop loss at about 20 pips. Take profit, first one would be at 40, then you could go all the way down to even 100 pips downside. But now I'll tell you, let's put it at 40. Does reverse and turn down, you could actually drag this down and then move that to break even. One way to trade. Okay, so 1.2650, 20, 40 pips, possibly pound dollar 0.2650, stop loss 20, profit 40. Then why 40 first? Why am I highlighting 40? I don't normally do this one, just because it's at 40 would be right at that 1.26 level. That's going to be a bit. If it breaks, we're going to see could see a big downward push towards low point here on Friday night. On Friday. Okay. Then onto the euro dollar. Did that, it pretty much did somewhat as we planned. Right, yesterday it did push up, test, took a little bit longer than we expected. Test that resistance level, turn back down, push down, now back up again because of that dollar weakness. I'm still not convinced, put that away, still not convinced that we're going to see a big push to the upside. So this really comes down to what kind of trades you do want to get into. Are you a trend follower? Are you a counter trader? Depends on your style of trading. Tend to prefer trend following. So what I'll be looking for here again would be for it to test that resistance and turn back down, which again, like we said yesterday, sounding a bit like a broken record. Pushing down, we have the resistance level, we have that 50% level, we have that trend line there. The whole confluence of here might be a good holding point, capping that upside for us to sell down on euro dollar. So 108 dot, very similar to what we were talking about yesterday. 5 pips to 50 pips, 5 pips to the downside. Right, a test and a reject for that dollar strength, like that one, 108.30, 5 to. So we'll be looking at this, not looking to buy, we're looking to sell 1.085. Zero, stop loss 5, take profit. Right, so we do have a bit of a two opportunity here on the Kiwi and the Aussie. dollar strength, dollar weakness scenarios. We have straddle on the US yen with both either buying or selling opportunity. A bit more biased towards that dollar strength scenario on the pound, and euro dollar looking to push downside, facing back up a bit. I'll maintain this view, right? It tested that resistance, still to break higher, but anticipating the dollar strength, I'll maintain this view that above 0.8855 could see a 20% that US Swiss franc 855, stop loss 20, take profit 60. Okay, I'm happy with that. In the meantime, if you're finding this helpful and useful and informative, and if you're going to be joining us on Friday during a non-farm live trading session, do help me out. Like and okay, US CAD Loonie is right above this support of 1.585 or 580, consolidating. And the longer it consolidates at this point, the more likely I think that push upward. Right? It has been, look at that big trending scenario since 15th of July. Found a bit of a double, not a perfect one, but I found a bit of a double bottom here. Then since that point, we're big upside move on the US CAD for it to be trading up, and actually broke out to me. Okay, so right at what I think this might be a trap that could catch a lot of people. Right? How many times have you been caught out by a false break? Put it into chat, let me know. Right? If you've been caught out by a false break, this might be one of that scenarios where it might look like it'll come down and break that support level, break that trend line, and you trade broken. Can I have a big sell to the downside? I don't think reasonable. It could happen, but I don't think it'd be a reasonable scenario unless something changes or something happens. Update you guys on that channel. Could look like a false break before pushing back up again. Okay, so I'm still looking at 1.610, stop loss 30, profit 50. Again, not a big risk to reward, but that would make sense. There is a definite. Yep. Okay, so just be aware of this. What I would say would signal that it's not false break could be if price breaks down and goes past not just this level, that's a bit too near at 1.570. I would say that it go past, have all the levels here with a bit that bar, that look thing that to only if price breaks down from 1.50, quite close to this level, then I would say we're possibly bigger correction downside. Break past this point, then we a bigger correction downside, but we have to pay attention to what's happening on the dollar index as well. This counter Okay, anyone hearing intermittent sound? Can be getting some intermittent sound, but I will have to fix that later. Let me know what's happening for all of you guys. Okay, happens to 50% of you guys so far. 66%, so 2% has an issue, 1%. All right, I'll get the guys to check it out. Meantime, that would be the counter trend scenario, but if not, I'm push higher. Train says sound is fine. Trading view, good, good, all good on trading view. I think it's the string and multi. Okay, thanks, Janbi. Okay, what was I saying? There's CAD, Uni. Next, after that, we're going to check out gold. Someone was asking about gold. Gold, yesterday we were saying break 1912 could go down to 94, but with the way the dollar was pushing slightly to the downside, now on, gold pushed higher. So I would say that you guys know I'm super short term gold. I would suggest that you're either super short term on gold or medium to long term. I think intraday version, intraday trading, you wiped out a lot. So just that. What I'm anticipating is gold could climb up towards that 1930 level, 1924, climb up to 1930. Then if it breaks a hold, hold point not going away, push up to 1930, 31 in fact, hold, looking for reaction. Okay, so gold, what I would say is climb to 1931, look for reaction along resistance. I'm anticipating a retrace. Okay. Next up, testing, looking at it to possibly up to that, back down slightly. Still waiting to see how this develops. I think that may come up to 91. All good so far? Any questions? No? Then I did have a UK 100. Big push to the upside. I don't know if I'm the right one as well. Nice. Big retrace because of that. This level here. So, sense. also because it's outside Bollinger. Because this is a new, not a chart I always look at, find some levels. That was a support, now acting as a bit of a resistance. Whole area, holding prices at next big, next interim level would be about 756. Breaks past this point with 526, then out to 2. Yeah, just on a technical view, that's what I would say. Then looking at dollars, pound dollar does push down up, so I do expect that it likely will continue up. Just needs to break above this area, or we could 752. Okay. Hope that makes for blessed pit, and that's for US 30. 3468. Identifying some level. One more. So needs to break above 3460 upside. Not highly convinced that it's going to break this level. I'm possibly thinking that we might trade back down or reverse from 4. I don't think it'll be a big reversal. Could be slight. Very most, I don't. Very most 3440 for 400. Test, then back down. I I don't see any divergence. Yes. I was going to say I don't see any divergence. This might, I think this, I'm not great with divergence, so bear with me here, or help me out, contribute, help me out. Maybe what we're looking, what divergence is one? Tell me that. Check what I. This is bearish divergence, hidden bearish down, that, looking at that, going up some move already. So this point, okay. Break the high and left. Okay, thanks for that, Hungry Sharks. I'm just making stuff up right now. Then it's alrighty. So maybe not a divergence, but I still think that that resistance is going to hold and then possibly back down. I'm blessed. I hope I haven't confused you too much, but that's the view. Just the sign of lack of. Okay, thanks for that. Alrighty. I'm in my place. I should stop trying to identify divergence. With that, any further questions? Hey, Diggs, by the way, a bit late, but almost done. If you guys have not already, do make sure you jump into the Discord channel to get the latest updates on what's happening in the markets and what crazy things I'm trying to get up to. The latest update is that if you haven't already, I will be doing a live trading event on Friday during the non-farm payroll. So do make sure, and it will only be on YouTube. So do make sure you tune in, turn up and tune in for that event. We'll be trading live together. Carsten just said, interesting to the dollar index goes back down into that long tail, then it falls breaks. Have a nice trading, everyone. Dollar index failed, not showing that push, might still be pushing back up. So dollar strength still well into play or well in play. Okay, so if you haven't already, join the Discord, help me out, click like, click subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow or on Discord. And if not, tomorrow. Take care now. Bye.